Timer on, let's go. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel. It's been a while. It's been about 7 months since I made the last video, and a lot of things have happened in my life, and maybe I'll get to it in the future. And if you're curious now, feel free to check out Instagram. There's some of the travel pics at least there. And if you're new here, welcome. On this channel, I make a lot of videos about mind maps and different ways to think about the world and share my experience. This channel, I noticed, recently hit over 1,000 subscribers. And I've been getting comments on the daily about how the videos are actually helping people. So I actually figured this is a good time to jump back in and do a video actually on why I'm making these videos, which is a little meta in that sense. So yeah, let's hit it. One of the things that I've thought a lot about last year in 2020 was the concept of personal stories. So these are the stories that are told to us at a very young age by parents, by friends, by professors, teachers, mentors, work, and media and society at large, right? These are the stories that shape our identity. They are extremely powerful. So in 2020, I actually thought about the ones that were told to me at an early age, right? And I'll give you a few examples. So basically, my voice matured faster than that of a lot of other kids. And I just looked older too. So when I was 14, people thought I was 18, and I went to like community college for classes, and went through the world, and people didn't really bat an eye. And as a result, my peers and professors, mentors, essentially saw to me to lead. And I remember in 6th grade during science camp, I was told to lead this group of kids through this obstacle course, and we ended up winning, right? And I had this silly kiddie drill sergeant voice, screaming, "Left, right, let's go!" And as a result, I got a lot of praise and a lot of positive reinforcement from that. And since then, I took a lot of leadership positions through high school, through college and work, grad school, outside of work, and it's always been part of me. And I realized last year that this was something that was told to me when I was very young, and I kind of leaned into it. So that's the first example. The second example is an operator versus ideas. So in the Silicon Valley, there's a heavy premium essentially put on being an operator, let's say a product manager or engineer, not so much on the ideas person, right? It's always been a little bit derived that you're just the ideas person. So because of that bias, it actually really shaped my career. I didn't, even though I was probably an ideas person, I heavily leaned towards taking opportunities that had an operator bent. So that meant, going away from venture capital and into product management, which is going from ideas to operations. And so basically last year, I realized that there was a lot of things that I wanted to do that were not really part of my personal stories, that these personal stories that I had, that has shaped my identity are not necessarily my own. They were given to me, inherited, to me by my parents, by peers, by, professors, by mentors, right? And by society. So in that I can actually take the pen away from everybody else and put it into my own hands, the hand that actually truly matters at the end of the day, right? And write my own personal stories. So 2020 was actually realizing that and drawing and writing new stories. And one of the three of which that are most important to me now are, number one, to serve. So I don't think it's enough to lead people, right? And I think leadership can come in different ways, but ultimately, when you lead, you want to serve. And to serve is to bring true value to a community. So I've since, put myself in that position to bring value rather than just to simply to lead. The other one is to be an artist. And I read a really good book last year called Just Kids by Patti Smith. And she is a very talented rock and roll artist that's on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And she described being an artist as someone who traverses heaven and hell, but ultimately chooses earth, ultimately chooses the physical realm to come back and share with everyone what they saw in heaven and hell, share their insights. So I really like that definition of being an artist, and I decided to actually identify with it as well as part of my personal story. So in a way, making these videos is a way for me to lean more towards the ideas realm, essentially making sense of chaos, for example, with mind maps, or some of the other stuff I'll share with you guys later, life lessons sometimes. This is essentially traversing heaven and hell in the abstract, and then bringing it into writing, into videos to share with people, and ultimately, hopefully, bring some value into your lives, right? And that makes me really happy. Every single time I read a good comment or a comment about how mind mapping is actually helping, or that it's useful for your purposes, and that you're not the only one who thinks that way, it makes me really happy. And I've been meaning to jump into it. So, look forward to future videos for sure. And I think the next one I want to make is hopefully will be published next week. And it's going to be about using mind maps for product management. I also want to do another series on mindsets versus skill sets. And primarily because I see mindsets as having much more of a longer half-life these days than skill sets in our changing economies and world. So yeah, stay tuned. And I really appreciate your viewership, and let me know what you think. Thanks. See you next time.